shot saved by Stover. Centering pass to score. They take a 1-0 lead.
Welcome back to the Swoop, PG Falcon Media's live sports talk show. You know what they say, you never fully appreciate anything until it's gone. And sadly, the same is true with the Swoop, as it's been an amazing, fun, wild ride. So let's have the best show we possibly can, as this is the last Swoop of the year. We don't even know if we're going to have it anymore. So, I mean, we can't do this show alone. But as always, I'm Chaz McNeil. And I'm not alone. I'm joined by two very talented sports analysts from the Falcon Media Sports Network. We got Lucas Kleinmeyer, Kevin Hutchinson. Guys, I've got to ask, on all of these episodes that we've had on the Swoop that you two have been on, what is your favorite moment?
My favorite moment was probably showing the replay of your high five from, I forget, that was first semester. No, I think it was this semester.
It was the first show of this semester, so the first winter show.
Yeah, that was my favorite.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
My favorite moment was probably when I brought up the McNuggets reference, and everybody just laughed and thought it was funny.
That's awesome.
I mean, that's probably one of my top moments. But what actually might be one of my top moments is what we've got coming up. So for this final show, we have to do things big, and nothing gets bigger than talking about a tight end who had arguably the best season of any tight end in the history of college football. And now, as of recording, we're 2 days out from the NFL draft, and Harold Fannin Jr. is a top tight end prospect. In 2024, Harold Fannin Jr. became college football's receiving yards leader for a tight end in a single season with 1,370 yards, as well as college football's other big tight end record holder, receptions in a single season, which he broke by one at 112 on the year. This all begs the question, where is Harold heading during the draft? Now, we've compiled a list of our predictions for the locations and days and rounds we think Harold will be drafted. And personally, I'll go first. I think he's a Jim Harbaugh guy. I have him going in the second round, pick 55 to the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, let me explain just a bit. Fannin and Harbaugh do have a history. Jim watched Harold play as a Falcon in 2023 when BGSU traveled to play Michigan in Ann Arbor. The same Michigan team that won a championship, and that was a team that was tested by Bowling Green. And that same season, as I remember, BGSU gave them all they could handle. So now you might see the pick being a bit later and be shocked as a Falcon fan that he's not a first-round pick. But Fannin didn't have a record-shattering combine performance, and I personally think he slips because of that a bit. And he ends up on a very good Chargers team. And because, he's got a great motor. I think he's going to be a great blocker. I think he's going to be dominant with the Chargers, and they don't really have a tight end one. So, Lucas, tell me where you see Fannin going.
It's a good pick. I do like that pick a lot. I'm going with the Baltimore Ravens. I'm saying with you, second round, pick 59 overall. He fits the Ravens offense. I think if you want a perfect player-team match, I think the Ravens and Fannin Jr. is a match made in heaven. Main thing is, too, Mark Andrews is turning 30 years old this year. He's towards the end of his contract. Do you really want to pay him a lot of money? He's already on a big contract. You got to add more youth into that tight end room. They do have Isaiah Likely, who is a good comparison to Harold Fannin Jr. I think if you had both of those on the team, that's an unstoppable offense. The offense is very run-heavy, as we know, with the Ravens with Derrick Henry and their whole run game, but that opens up the passing offense. For Fannin Jr., with all the RPOs they like to run, I think he fits their offensive scheme. I'm going with the Ravens.
And one thing I like about both of our picks is the fact that they go to good quarterbacks. You've got Justin Herbert and Lamar Jackson. Now, Kevin, I've told you, I don't like the pick, but rip yours.
Well, my pick is, give me the Cleveland Browns. My Browns, and here's the reason why. Here's the main reason why. He's going to slip a bit because teams are sleeping on him, unfortunately. You have Colston Loveland and you have Tyler Warren as the dominant tight ends in this draft. So teams are napping a little bit when it comes to Harold Fannin. That's why I have him slip into the third round. But here's the reason why the Browns make sense. Number one, they need a tight end to complement David Njoku. They need somebody else in the blocking game, in the passing game. Two, Cleveland likes to draft Ohio players for the fan base. Their first pick last year was a defensive tackle from Ohio State. So I think for the fan base, for the culture, and just for the grittiness that the Browns represent, I think Fannin makes sense in that role, and I think he's a Cleveland Brown.
And I think that's a solid take. My thing that kind of scares me a little bit, the Browns organization compared to both the Chargers and the Ravens, it's not great. And also, Kevin, remind me, what's your favorite NFL team?
The Cleveland Browns.
There we go. I mean,
Well, I can still objectively say that I think the Browns are targeting a tight end in the later rounds.
oh, 100%.
Yeah.
And David Njoku, he has had those injury issues. It's not a horrible pick. I don't think the quarterback play is there yet. But
He's right in terms. I can see teams sleeping on him and
Yeah.
falling down in the rounds for sure. But I think he's a John Harbaugh guy, not a Jim Harbaugh guy. So I like my pick better than yours.
See, I think you had the right last name, the wrong first name. I think the thing about John Harbaugh, excuse me, I like the idea for Jim with the Chargers. There's no tight end there. Gerald Everett is not really active. I would have gone Jaguars. I think he'd be a perfect fit for the Jaguars, but I think they take Tyler Warren in the first round. So that's a different thing. If you want to see all 7 rounds of the NFL draft picks, you can catch that on our YouTube. No, I'm just kidding. But that's what I think. I like all these picks. Maybe not the Browns, but
Come on, man.
now switching things up a bit to our in-depth coverage of the men's basketball transfer portal. We've had so many updates, and recently we had 5 major moves with 3 players returning from the portal and 2 new additions. In terms of additions, on April 19th, 2 new players announced that they would be heading to Bowling Green. The first transfer was junior center Troy Glover II, who spent last season at Division II Missouri St. Louis. Later that same day, sophomore guard from Highland College, Jason Kimbrough Jr., announced his commitment to BG. On top of that, 3 Falcons announced their return to Bowling Green as junior forward Yusuf Kayet, junior guard Javante Campbell, and senior forward Sam Towns all announced that they would no longer be pursuing a new home in the portal. So guys, what do we make of all these new additions? Is men's basketball better off than we thought?
I do. I think so. I think we should give Todd Simon and his coaching staff the benefit of the doubt. I think he's earned that up to this point. The state of college basketball is really difficult right now with the transfer portal and everything. But this is his 3rd year coming up, and he's had to have almost 3 different teams now in 3 years. And with the 2 new players they got, I think Kimbrough could be a hidden gem in a way. You look at Marcus Hill, Simon's first year, Javante Campbell this year. Simon has a knack for finding these hidden gems in JUCO and turning them into absolute superstars in the MAC. I think he definitely can be this one. And then the big thing, too, is obviously getting Javante Campbell out of the transfer portal back to Bowling Green. Yusuf Kayet staying committed as well to Bowling Green as well. I definitely do think they're better off. I think we kind of jumped the gun a little bit on men's basketball, saying they're in kind of turmoil. Obviously, they did lose a lot of key players, but Todd Simon has shown time after time that he can continuously rebuild the team while keeping the same culture and the same standards.
Yeah, I think Javante Campbell returning could not be a bigger deal for this team. I mean, obviously he has length, he has size, he can shoot. He's the complete player that this roster needs. I think Troy Glover II, he could be a sleeper. I mean, he's 6'10". I would love to be 6'10". That sounds like a great life. But he brings length, he brings size, averaging 8.6 rebounds last season, and a pretty good shooter, 62.5% shooting. That's what really stands out to me.
And I actually, let's see those stats again, because I kind of want to look at those a little bit more in depth. You look at Glover II, exactly, like you mentioned, 6'10". Bowling Green, what was their one big weakness last season? Kind of center play.
Size.
Yeah, exactly, size. 6'10", and he's got a 62.5% shooting percentage. That is unreal. As a center, the fact that you can just get it in the basket over half the time you take a shot, I love that. I'm really excited for that. He's big. And then with Kimbrough Jr., I like that pick as well, but I'm very high on Glover.
Yeah, he's like a Jokic-esque player, like a center who can shoot. A center who can
That's
shoot.
true.
Good compliment. Well, another thing is, too, adding a 6'10" center, they haven't had that size since Jason Spurgeon was here a couple years back, and Spurgeon didn't even play as the 5 in that. He was more out on the perimeter, out on the wing, because that's just what the team needed for him in that specific year. So I think if you adding one of those players, but also playing him in that correct position, in that center position, I think you'll reap the benefits.
Oh, yeah. And, I mean, you lose one of your best shooters in Marcus Johnson as well, and you've kind of get an upgrade. Now, we've got to see what really happens there, but it'll be interesting to tell if the shooting from Glover can help fill in for Marcus Johnson leaving. So, hopefully, we will see some of these transfers appear at the Ziggies, a BGSU athletic sports show held tomorrow, April 23rd, which Falcon Media Sports Network is lucky enough to cover in a big way. Several of us will be at the event, including Lucas and myself, to give out awards, and we actually have 3 more categories to break down. We did the first 3 on last week's Swoop, so check it out. So without further ado, we will be talking Male Athlete of the Year, Female Athlete of the Year, and Moment of the Year. And for Male Athlete of the Year, here are the nominees. Starting off, MAC Player of the Year, Nathan Archer for BGSU Baseball, who was drafted in the 12th round by the Chicago White Sox. He had an absolutely massive season. Then you've got Missouri Valley Conference Defensive Player of the Year, Kyle Cusimano from men's soccer. Lucas, I know he's one of your favorite players to watch. And then Harold Fannin Jr., we've talked about him so much. We're going to be continuing to talk about him. One of the best tight end seasons of all time, MAC Offensive Player of the Year, as well as the reception leader in a single season. He's a big name player, and a lot of great candidates for that category. And now, next up, we have Female Freshman of the Year. And the nominees for this one are Sammy Dolce, who broke the program record for women's golf for the lowest freshman average at 75.59%. On the screen, that's Janae Donahue from women's basketball, who led the conference in steals and was named All-MAC freshman team and All-MAC defensive team. And then wrapping up, finally, Reese Raymond, who as a freshman played a critical role in BGSU's track and field's run through the MAC championships. And now, with our final category for the Ziggies, Moment of the Year. And one more time, the nominees are BGSU Baseball's record-breaking 23rd MAC win at Fifth Third Field in Toledo, which was a critical moment in the Falcons' MAC regular season championship. Next up, Harold Fannin Jr., yet again, who we have talked about a lot today, but rightfully so. He shattered nearly every single season record imaginable. What's more to say about him at this point? And then finally, Track and Field's Indoor MAC Championship, which is currently the only MAC championship for BGSU this season. So, a lot of great nominees, a lot of talking I just did for all these categories. Falcon Media Sports Network is extremely excited to present some of these awards and provide coverage before, during, and after the event. So be sure to stay tuned all week as we will have consistent updates. Now, guys, let's dissect the nominees a bit more, starting off Nathan Archer for Male Athlete of the Year. I mean, as a baseball beat, this guy has been one of my favorite to watch in my career at Bowling Green. Absolutely unreal. He gets drafted 2024 MAC Player of the Year, 35 career home runs, 4th all-time, 340 career total bases, that's 7th all-time, and his walk-up song last season was Natasha Bedingfield's Unwritten. Best walk-up song, hands down.
Good way to end it, for sure. Yeah, Kyle Cusimano, as you mentioned, since I cover men's soccer, Kyle Cusimano played all 10 positions at one point during his time at Bowling Green. He played 5 seasons. Obviously, you mentioned 2024 MVC Defender of the Year. He was a leader on this team. He served as one of the 3 captains, and he was just a vital part of that program. He's a guy that played all but 1 minute last season for this Bowling Green team. Just a sensational season. And he was also a semifinalist for the Mac Herman Trophy Award, which is the college equivalent to the Heisman, if you're talking football terms as well. So he was outstanding in his whole 5 years at Bowling Green. Really outstanding this past year as well. Played left center back, moved that middle center back role. Took on a lot of responsibility in all 5 years. Was a starter from day one since he arrived at campus Nichols. I'm happy he's up for this award.
Yeah, definitely. And obviously, we're all big fans of Harold Fannin Jr. I mean, what can you even say about this guy? Set 10 FBS records, led the nation in single-season receiving yards by a tight end and receptions by a tight end. Dude's just insane. I mean, he's obviously going to the NFL, probably one of the greatest athletes we've produced in a long time, and just super excited that he's up for the award. And just as a football fan, with football as my favorite sport, it just makes my heart happy. Whether he goes to the Browns, Future Brown makes my heart rejoice.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he ends up on the Chargers. I'd also love to see him on the Lions. Shout out Dan Campbell. But now, Female Freshman of the Year, Sammy Dolce, who, honestly, I didn't really know much about her stats before we dug into this a little bit more. She competed in all 12 tournaments for the Falcons in her debut season. She broke the program record for lowest freshman scoring average, 75.59. That record was held by her current head coach, Aaron Fahey. We got to get a feature on that. We got to do something
It's so
about that.
cool.
It's insane.
It's so cool. It really is unbelievable. And, you know, Donahue, as you mentioned as well, Donahue was one of my personal favorite players to watch this past season. Obviously, I covered women's basketball. She was already, for my money, the best defender on the team as just a true freshman. She was top 3 in the MAC in steals by the end of the season as well. And you saw the clips there, and we've read off all the things she did this past season. She became a starter at the start of the year, had a little injury, came back, won her starting spot right back, and was a starter and was a key contributor down the stretch when they won that giant winning streak going into MAC play. She's going to be incredible, and she's already this good just as a freshman, which is kind of scary of how good she is just as a solid defensive player too. She's adding a little bit of offense to her game too, which is also really exciting as well, make her really a complete player. I'm so excited for her in the next coming years here at Bowling Green. I'm really excited she's up for this award.
Yeah, for sure. I'm super excited about Reese Raymond. I mean, MAC Freshman of the Year honors, first team MAC honors. I mean, she's just been great for the track and field team, which has really done a great job this year. They've been one of our more successful teams.
MAC
and she's
champions.
MAC champions, and she's no small part of that. I mean, she set a 37-year school record in the 800 meter. I mean, that's a lot of distance, and to run quickly. I'm not that fast, so I'm very impressed. And also broke a 26-year record at the GVSU Big Meet. So super excited to see how she does at the Ziggy's.
I've lost track of how many track and field records this program's broken this year.
Cubison as well,
Yeah.
another player that we mentioned last week. Check out that episode. Also, Reese Raymond, if you're watching this, please race Kevin. I would love to see that.
I would get so cooked.
Oh, yeah.
Reese, please don't. Have mercy. I'm just a sports anchor. Don't do that to me.
And now, so wrapping up, we've got our final moments. You know, you've done a lot of Harold talk. Let's hear it one more time.
Well, Harold Finn Jr., just the moment that he led the nation in receiving yards with 1,555 and receptions with 117, becoming the first tight end in FBS history to do so. I can't say enough about this guy. Just great.
Then obviously indoor track and field. They won the 2025 MAC Indoor Championship for the first time since 1999. I mean, that in itself is amazing. 26 years since they've done that, and it's unbelievable. That's just one of the many things they've done this year, but that's the criteria for this specific award. I'm really excited about it.
The moment of the year is just a crazy award. And baseball at Fifth Third Field, that one, I was there. I called that game. Insane environment, insane win. It was a comeback win pretty much. I mean, electric atmosphere. So, I mean, we're very excited to be able to cover this event. And honestly, we have so much information that Lucas ran out of space on the first page. That's how much info we have talking about the Ziggy. So with that said, and due to this being the last Swoop episode, the last episode of the Swoop, we also have the final athlete of the week. So we got to move on from the Ziggy, sadly. So without any more stalling, Gunnar Antillion from BGSU Baseball is BG Falcon Media's Athlete of the Week. Antillion had a breakout week, recording 14 hits for 12 RBIs with 20 at-bats that included back-to-back home runs in 2 games, one of which was his first career home run as a Falcon, and back-to-back games with multiple doubles. So a massive performance out of him. To read more about Antillion, you can read the recap on bgfalconmedia.com. So now, since we are not having any more Swoop episodes, have I nailed in the fact that we are not having any more Swoop? We have decided to name the best prediction during the show, which includes myself, Sam Momeyer, Artie Abrego, and our own executive producer, Raymond Cotis, who all got one right during the Swoop's lifetime. So, according to a large poll by Falcon Media Sports Network, the Swoop's best prediction this year was, drumroll please, Artie Abrego, who chose Javonte Campbell, which honestly, not that bold of a prediction, but then when you realize Campbell was hurt, and then this was a few days before his game-winning layup versus the Toledo Rockets, which helped spark BGSU's run to the MAC tournament in March. And I'm a little sad no one picked me, but that is the best pick, hands down. Look at that crowd. Give him a scepter. He is king of Athlete of the Week projections.
Yeah, that is just absolutely kingly right there. And that prediction, I mean, especially leading up to such a big moment, huge for Artie. Couldn't be happier.
Well, I'm happy for Artie as well, too. But, I mean, when your athlete plays with not one but two hurt hands down the stretch of the season and has one of the best moments in athletics this year with that game winner against Toledo. I think he deserved to win Athlete of the Week. And also I loved the crown on his head.
That was great.
That was awesome.
Shout out Sam Barrett for that, because I mean that's a great crown. But I do want to say, you look at the other predictions. I had Amanda Otten week 1. It is the first week.
So you got the first week right.
And
how
I've
many,
lost.
How many episodes have you been doing this?
I believe 17, 18.
That's unbelievable.
I think it's a 0.625 winning percentage last I checked.
Wow.
Everybody else has 100% winning percentage. So.
Yeah.
Might want to work on that, Chaz.
Negative side of being the host.
Yeah, I mean, hey, it happens, you know. I mean, we can't all be great. Raymond chose Eddie Martin. That was a good pick.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, honestly, we're just reminiscing at this point. So.
Hey, a lot of good picks as well. I mean, you got like I said, Amanda in the first pick. We were off and running, and we kind of had a little bit of a lull there for a bit, and then got a couple good picks afterwards as well. But congrats to Artie.
Janae Donahue, that was another pick that won Athlete of the Week, who's gonna probably be one of the more hotly contested female freshman of the year award.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, a lot of great picks, and now coming up, we will get you one last look at the athletic schedule. So stay with us right here on the Swoop. Welcome back to the wrap-up, where we update you on many of the sports happening on and off campus in the next week. So looking at the schedule, you got women's track facing off, going on the road. BGSU baseball, Friday, Saturday. They have Friday, Saturday, Sunday against Eastern Michigan. That's a big series at home. Eastern Michigan, one spot below them in the standings. Then you've got softball at Toledo Friday, and then a doubleheader Saturday. Then men's golf in Athens, MAC tournament Monday and Tuesday. That's going to be a very big slate. So we're really wrapping up this schedule here. We're getting towards the end, but still big swings here. Both baseball and softball have the chance to make each MAC tournament respectively. Baseball, they've really got to take down Eastern. That'll be a big series. So now, part of the reason I've been hammering in that this is the final episode of The Swoop is because I'm graduating. And I'm graduating from BG. Oh, no, clap it up. It's okay. It's okay. There we go. There we go. So no matter what, this is my final show, even if The Swoop does come back. And I just want to say thank you to everyone at this desk, behind the cameras, and in the studio that I've become friends with during the show and helped form the show from the ground up. Speaking of graduation, I've got to segue into something, and we have one last piece of sports news that I am very hype about. BGSU alumni and Cy Young Award winner and World Series winner Oral Hershiser will be giving the commencement speech at BGSU's graduation ceremony on May 3rd. And I'm extremely excited about that because I'll be in the stands actually getting my name called, so that's going to be really fun. And I just want to say thank you to all of you guys. So with all of this said, that is it for The Swoop. I hope you enjoyed this journey as much as I did, and I mean it. Thank you all for your support, watching and supporting us as we've talked about what we love the most, sports. So be sure to check in on what we have for the Ziggies, and thank you for swooping with us.